just before 12. So Marina. Um, Today I'm offering a slightly different practice, and it is a kind of modified yin practice. So um, I'm offering this because this is what I feel like I need today. And so do know that you are welcome to take part, welcome to join in at any time. You're welcome to move to a resting form, and also you're welcome to move in whatever way you like. So I haven't prepared this, but as I sat down, I thought, oh, I just want to do a little bit of yin. So for those that don't know about a yin practice, it will be trauma informed. Um, Yin practices, we often hold the forms for a little bit longer, and that's always a choice. So you can choose to come out of the form and into the form, maybe moving in and out at any time. But what I will offer is the opportunity to hold the form for about 2 minutes. The other day I used my phone as a clock counter, but it kind of got a bit weird. It beeped at the wrong time. So what I'll do is at the end of 2 minutes, I will just give a little chime, and let's see how we go. So I'm thinking we'll start seated, move to standing, then back to the floor with a body scan exercise to finish. What you may like is a rug, perhaps a rolled up towel, maybe another rug, and sometimes a little block of wood or a couple of books can be useful. Or let me see what else we've got here. A cushion, or some other kind of cushion. So in yin, we often support parts of the body. So to start with, if you like, maybe finding a seated form. So it could be sitting back on your ankles, or sitting on a cushion, or maybe cross-legged. So maybe seated. And if you like, bringing your awareness to notice where you are in your space. Behind you, maybe to your side. Noticing where you are in your bubble. And I'm going to offer this seated form for 2 minutes, so we're almost at 1 minute. Now you're always welcome to move. So one option for moving could be moving your torso. It's a choice. If you are moving, you might notice a change in sensation where you make contact with the ground. You might notice that you're breathing, that your breath is with you. It ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. So maybe seated and breathing. Then finding your way maybe to resting form, perhaps child form. And another option for resting form or child form could be to use a cushion. So I'm offering this form, if you like, perhaps holding this form for 2 minutes. So maybe resting on a cushion and breathing. If you're seated, maybe bringing your hands to your knees or your elbows to your knees, maybe leaning forward on a cushion. If you like, bring your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, the surface beneath you. Perhaps noticing that you're breathing. If you're interested, you could place one great toe on top of your other great toe. It's a choice. And we've just passed through 1 minute. Knowing you can come out of the form whenever you like. Maybe finding your way to kneeling. And then if you like, maybe bringing your hands to the floor and perhaps exploring cats and cows, maybe dipping your spine, lifting your chin and looking up. And then in your own time, perhaps curling your spine, tucking your chin and looking down. So maybe looking up, maybe looking down and breathing. If you're seated, maybe lifting your front torso. If you like, looking up. And in your own time, maybe curling your spine and looking down. If you're interested, maybe in synchronizing your breathing with your movement. Perhaps breathing in as you move in one direction and maybe breathing out as you move in another direction. So breathing and moving. If you're moving your spine, you might feel sensation in your spine. Or perhaps your abdomen, always knowing it's quite normal not to feel sensation. So maybe moving your spine and breathing. Finding your way back to resting, maybe using a cushion or perhaps a smaller cushion. You get to choose. So maybe finding your resting form and breathing. Noticing your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. Your breath is always there. If you're interested, you could bring your hands behind, so maybe extending your hands towards your feet and breathing. Then in your own time, perhaps finding your way to explore a lunge. So if you're on a chair, Maybe moving to the side of your chair and perhaps dropping your knee. So if you're on your mat, maybe moving to kneeling, perhaps stepping 1 foot forward and breathing. So I'm going to offer the opportunity to stay in this form for 2 minutes. Knowing you're always welcome to move in the form. Maybe noticing sensation in your legs, and perhaps noticing nothing at all. Knowing at any time you can come out of the form. And there's no requirement to do what I say. Sometimes a block could be helpful to place your hand on. I just remembered that. Maybe bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground. And breathing. And in your own time, finding your way back to your resting form, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead in your hands. If you're seated, maybe bringing your elbows to your knees, perhaps resting your forehead in your hands. And breathing. Noticing your breath is with you. Then in your own time, knowing you're welcome to stay in the form longer, maybe exploring this on your other side. So if you like, stepping forward with your opposite foot, perhaps using a book or a block to support your hand, and breathing. You're welcome to have your hands on the floor or your knee. You're always welcome to move in the form. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing, that your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. We've just passed 1 minute. So at any time you can come out of the form, and if you want to stay longer, you're welcome to do that. Finding your way to resting at any time. Maybe feeling sensation in your legs, possibly feeling nothing at all. We don't always feel sensation. In fact, it's quite normal not to feel sensation. Then in your own time, finding your way back to resting. And breathing. Maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands, or supporting yourself on a bolster. If you like, crossing your opposite great toe on top of your other great toe and breathing. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice the sensation of your breath. Is it fast or slow, bumpy or smooth? What does your breath feel like? And if, when you're ready, finding your way back to kneeling. And next I'm going to offer a form that's sometimes been called a Tibetan. Now you can do this on your chair, on all fours, or lifting your torso. So I'm going to offer it firstly on all fours. So maybe bringing your hands out in front, perhaps bringing your weight to your hands and looking up. And then in your own time, moving your torso back to your body, to your ankles. And maybe bring weight to your hands and looking up, perhaps moving your torso back to your ankles. So maybe moving forward and back. If it's available to you, maybe tucking your toes, perhaps noticing where you place your hands. If you like, lifting your torso, maybe bringing your weight to your hands and looking up. So maybe lifting and lowering, perhaps moving forward and back. Being guided by what's right for your body. If you're seated, maybe bringing your hands further down your legs and perhaps raising your arms. So maybe bringing hands to knees, moving hands to feet and raising your arms. If you like, coordinating your breathing with your movement, perhaps breathing in as you move in one direction and breathing out as you move in another. Finding your way to resting in your own time. So child form or resting form could be with knees together or knees apart. Maybe resting forward on hands, or perhaps resting on a cushion and breathing. I'm going to offer 2 minutes in resting. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice the sensation of your breath. Or perhaps that you're breathing. So if you like, finding a resting form. You might notice the sensation where you make contact with the ground. You might notice nothing at all. It's quite normal not to notice sensation. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing. We've just passed 1 minute. Maybe noticing your breath is with you. It ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. So in your own time, maybe finding your way back to kneeling or seated, and possibly taking a moment to explore a toe stress. Okay, doing this mainly for me today. So if you like, bringing your hands in front of you and possibly bringing them back towards you. You're welcome to move your hands at any time. Maybe bring your hands to your knees, perhaps sitting back on your ankles and breathing. And at any time you can move in and out of the form. So maybe moving in and out of the form. If you're seated, maybe lifting your heels off the ground, perhaps pressing your toes into the ground. So if you like, lifting your heels, maybe pressing your toes into the ground and breathing. If you like, exploring a toe stress, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps breathing. Maybe noticing sensation in your toes and being guided by your body, perhaps finding your way to resting in your own time. Maybe resting on a cushion, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. Then if you like, finding your way to your expression of standing or seated mountain. Standing or seated moanga. Maybe lifting and lowering your toes, perhaps lifting and lowering your heels. If you like, softening your knees, perhaps standing tall. Maybe moving your head to balance on your shoulders. Then if you like, maybe folding forward, sometimes called dangling in yin yoga. So a few options. One could be to bring your hands to your knees or your upper legs and maybe leaning forward. And I'm going to offer the opportunity to hold this form for 2 minutes, but be guided by your body. Move in and out of it as is useful for you. So maybe bring your hands to your knees, or perhaps your elbows, or maybe letting your hands fold in front of you. And if you like, holding that form for 2 minutes, but knowing any time you can move in and out of the form. If you're seated, maybe bringing your hands to your knees, or perhaps bringing your hands further down your legs and breathing. Always welcome to move in and out of the form. So possibly leaning forward, maybe dangling and breathing. Perhaps moving in the form, maybe moving in and out of the form. And we've just passed 1 minute. Maybe noticing your breathing. If you like, moving in and out of your form. Perhaps noticing your breath is with you. always welcome to move. Guiding your body, guiding yourself back to upright, maybe moving into your expression of standing moanga, and if you like, perhaps moving your shoulders. You might like to move your shoulders in circles or forward and back. And breathing. If you're interested in experimenting with bending your knees, maybe bringing a chair in front of you and perhaps bending your knees, maybe moving in and out of the form. Oops. Or perhaps lifting one foot off the floor, maybe bringing your knee towards your torso. If it's available, maybe moving into a squat, and if you like, holding this form for 2 minutes. Knowing at any time you can move to seated or a resting form, maybe exploring a squat, being guided by your body, perhaps holding your mat, or maybe bring your hands to your mat. And breathing. We've just passed by 1 minute. Perhaps noticing your breath is with you. It ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. You're welcome to move in and out of the form at any time. If you like, finding your way to child form, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands, and that is tahi, no, rua, 2 minutes. So finding your resting form, and breathing. Perhaps taking some time in resting form. Maybe bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, the surface beneath you. Maybe noticing your breathing. And if you like, in your own time, perhaps finding your way to seated, either on your mat or your chair for a seated form. You may like to put a cushion under your seat. And you're welcome to have your feet crossed or extended. Today I'm going to offer having my soles of my feet together. And do know that you're welcome to have support for your knees. This is not cheating. And maybe supporting your knees and breathing. If it's of interest to you, maybe leaning forward. So that's a choice. You may like to sit up tall, maybe with your hands on your knees, or possibly leaning forward, maybe bringing hands to your knees or further down your legs. So taking a moment to set the form up in a way that's useful for you, perhaps with the thoughts. And if you like, holding this form for rua, 2 minutes. You're welcome to tuck your chin, maybe moving your chin, perhaps lifting and lowering. Maybe coordinating the movement of your chin with your breath. Possibly breathing in as you move in one direction, maybe breathing out as you move in the opposite direction. So if you like, breathing and moving. We've just passed tahi, 1 minute. Perhaps noticing that your breath is with you. Maybe noticing that you're breathing. You're always welcome to move in the form. Maybe sitting upright, maybe leaning forward. Then in your own time, guiding yourself back to neutral. It's 2 minutes. And if you're interested in moving to explore the last forms on your back, you're welcome to do that. If you're seated, maybe bringing your knee towards your torso, perhaps holding your knee there, maybe moving, perhaps holding your knee for 2 minutes. If you're on your back, you might like to explore a twist. Make sure I've got enough room here. So if you like, maybe lying down. Perhaps extending your arms. Maybe bringing your feet flat on the floor, close to your torso. And if you like, bringing your knees to rest on your side. And it may be everything. It may be that you bring your knees to rest on a cushion, perhaps looking in the opposite direction and possibly holding here for the count of 2. Rua, 2 minutes. You're always welcome to move in the form. And breathing. If you like, bring your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground. And breathing. Maybe resting your legs on one side, perhaps looking in the opposite direction, and breathing. Right, 2 minutes, and you may like to lift your feet back to midline, finding your center. If you like, using support on your other side, maybe dropping your knees to your side. If you like, looking in the opposite direction and breathing. And you're welcome to hold here for the count of 2 minutes. They'll ring the chime at the end. So this is the last form for today. If you like bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing, you might feel some sensation through your torso, maybe your shoulder, and possibly not at all. You may like to bring your awareness to notice that your breath is with you, that you're breathing. Perhaps bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, possibly looking, and always welcome to move. There's Rua, that's 2 minutes. So, a different kind of practice today. And to finish, you may choose to have your legs up the wall, or maybe your feet on a chair. So finding a resting form for the last part of your practice. It may be on your side, your back, your abdomen, and you're always welcome to have a blanket to cover you. Another option could be to roll a small towel if you're on your back, perhaps resting your spine on a small towel and breathing. As usual, I'm going to offer a brief body scan exercise. You're welcome to tune my voice out. You're also welcome to take your mind to the part I name, or move that part, or possibly take your hand to that part. So in your own time, maybe taking a breath, and as you breathe out, bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, perhaps looking, maybe moving. Then if you're interested, perhaps bringing your awareness to notice sensation at your eyebrow center, sensation in your jaw, sensation in your neck, sensation in the whole of your right arm, sensation in your hand, sensation in the whole of your right arm, sensation in your neck, sensation in the whole of your left arm, sensation in your left hand, sensation in the whole of your left arm, sensation in your neck, sensation at your heart center, Aoteoroa, sensation in your right ribs, sensation at your heart center, Aoteoroa, sensation in your left ribs, sensation at your heart center, Aoteoroa, sensation in your abdomen, sensation in the whole of your right leg, sensation in your abdomen, Sensation in the whole of your left leg. Sensation in your abdomen. Sensation in your heart center, Aoteoroa. Sensation in your neck. Sensation at the tip of your nose. Sensation at your eyebrow center. Sensation in the whole of your body. Sensation in all of your body. The whole of your body all together. I'm going to offer some silence, about 2 minutes, since it's a 2-minute day. Then I'll ring the chime and offer you the opportunity to close your practice. So do know there's no hurry to move. And when you do want to move, maybe wriggling your fingers and toes, perhaps moving to rest on your side. If you like, taking a moment to acknowledge your practice. So maybe taking a moment to acknowledge your practice, your purpose for being here and practicing today. And that might be to nurture yourself, possibly connect with yourself. So taking a moment to acknowledge your practice to yourself. So thank you for practicing with me. I seem to have worked out all my errors with Facebook, and hopefully things progress smoothly. I do want to say yin practice is, the theory behind it is as we allow the muscles to relax, then they are able to be oxygenated, have more blood, and de-stress. That's my simple explanation, and actually have more elasticity. So yeah, thank you for practicing with me. It maintains my focus, so I'm grateful for that. Take care in your bubble. I will be back at 12 midday tomorrow. And at this point, I'm contemplating, well, I need to let you know, I'm going to offer a short practice with a longer, what they call a yoga nidra, which is like a yogic sleep. So for your practice, what you may need is some cushions, some rugs, maybe towel, big cushions, little cushions to support you. So I'll see you tomorrow at 12 midday. Ka kite anō.